Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Proven Inspiration. I do hope you're having a good day. I'd like to provide you with training today, and our topic for today is for happily married couples or couples on their way to being happily married. Our topic for you today is, can you see me? Now, a lot of people go into relationships and into marriage because you have a desire to love or you have a desire to be loved. And that is a noble reason for a marriage amongst many because I have news for you. Marriages break down not because there's an absence of love, but because there are other things that are missing. So if you think about baking a cake, you have flour, you have sugar, you have vanilla, you have nutmeg, I think. I'll stick with the basics. Butter, you have butter. So you have all these ingredients to make your cake. If you decide to omit flour, so we'll say flour is love. If you decide to omit love from that recipe, you do not have a cake. But if you have all the ingredients and you have no flour, you don't have a cake. Also, if you have just flour and none of those ingredients, you still don't have a cake. So in a marriage, if you have various elements, you have respect, you have kindness, you have all these other requirements, all these other elements, but you don't have love, you don't really have a great marriage. But if you have love and you don't have respect, you don't have appreciation, you don't have consideration, you don't have all those other elements, then you still don't have a great marriage. So it's not just about love, there are other things that are required to make your relationship work. One of those requirements is the ability to actually see your partner, to really see them for who they are, to see them at the very core of their being. The reality is, a lot of people in marriages, you might have sexual chemistry, you might have emotional chemistry, you might have mental chemistry, you have all these things connecting you. But then you find that as you go through the marriage, one or both parties begins to feel invisible. You begin to feel like you cannot be seen or you cannot be heard in that relationship. What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. What is actually happening right there is that you do not feel seen by your partner. And that can be quite a dangerous thing because the that invisibility can drive your partner into the hands of somebody else, into the arms of somebody else. I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm a Christian and I don't believe in adultery or things like that. But I'm just trying to help you understand why people do what they do. Okay? So it's important that when you're in a marriage that you take the time to see your partner, and you take the time to really know who they are at the core of their being. Sometimes it happens automatically. You could just have a divine assistance in that area whereby you're actually able to see who your partner is. You can see what their capabilities are, and you acknowledge that and you celebrate it and you appreciate it. But for other people, you might have to work in this area. So how do you get to see your partner? You learn to see your partner by asking them questions, about their dreams, their hopes, their desires, asking them questions about the areas of their lives where they're broken, how it impacted them, asking them questions about what they desire for themselves, where they see themselves. When you ask them questions, that's your way of investigating this person. You learn to see your partner by observing them. When you observe a person, you watch what they like, what they don't like. And by observation, you can actually learn more about that person than what they're able to even tell you for themselves. Because they might not know that they're good in a certain area. But then when you watch them, and you observe them, then you can say, look, honey, you know what? I think you're good at music. Or look, honey, I think you're good at writing. Or look, honey, I think you might be great at acting. And the reality is that when you actually take the time to observe them and tell them, even if they were unaware of what you've just said, like mentally they were unaware, but when you say it, it connects with something within them. And because they see that you've seen them, it gives them the encouragement to step out on what you've said. Okay, so it's important that you take the time to ask them questions, take the time to observe them, and then when you've observed them, then the next step really is to speak out on what you have seen. Some people speak out about the negative things. You say, oh, you do this, you do that, you don't pick up your socks, you don't call me, you don't do this. No, if you're going to use your words constructively. Take the time to observe your partner, take the time to identify the areas of strength, their giftings that you feel like they haven't actually seen or recognized within themselves, and then express your thoughts and your observations to them and see what they say. So when you see a person, when you truly see a person, first you're able to recognize who they are at their core, and when you recognize that, you're able to acknowledge it, so you speak out about it, and then thirdly, you're able to celebrate them for who they truly are. So my question for you is, can you see me? And if you can't, it's time for you to actually start practicing and learn to see your spouse for who they really are. Okay? I want you to please feel free to share this video with whoever you think needs to hear it. Until next time, from my heart to yours, you take it easy. Bye.